To kick things off, let's talk about the first stage of moving, apartment hunting. It can feel like a real emotional roller coaster, exciting at first, but quickly exhausting. In your experience, what are some challenges people face during this stage?
Absolutely. Apartment hunting is often more draining than people anticipate. The process involves hours of scrolling through rental sites, comparing photos and prices, and then discovering that what looks perfect online can be disappointing in reality. It's a test of patience and optimism.
That's so true. Sometimes it feels like every promising listing has a catch. How do you recommend people manage their expectations and stay motivated throughout this process?
Managing expectations is key. I advise making a list of non-negotiables versus nice-to-haves before you start. For example, prioritize safety and commute time over having a balcony. Also, set a limit on daily search time to avoid burnout. Studies show that taking breaks helps people make more rational decisions.
Interesting. And once you've finally found that ideal place, there's still the hurdle of the rental application, right? What should listeners know about that part of the journey?
The application is often as competitive as the search itself. Landlords typically request references from previous landlords or employers, which serve as trust signals. It pays to gather these documents early and even draft a short introduction letter. In hot markets, these small steps can make a big difference.
So, you've secured your new place. Congratulations. But now comes the logistical mountain, organizing the move. One big dilemma is whether to hire professional movers or rely on friends. How should someone approach this choice?
It's a classic trade-off. Professional movers bring efficiency and experience, reducing risk of damage, but at a higher cost. On the flip side, enlisting friends is budget-friendly but requires more coordination and can strain relationships if things go wrong. A smart compromise is hiring movers for bulky items and asking friends for lighter tasks.
That hybrid method sounds practical. Besides costs, are there other factors people should consider when planning their move?
Definitely. Timing is crucial. Moving in peak seasons, like summer, can drive up prices and limit availability. Also, think about your own physical limitations and the building's rules. Some apartments require advance notice or elevator reservations. Early planning can prevent last-minute chaos.
You mentioned coordination. What's an example of a coordination challenge during a move, and how can it be avoided?
A common issue is everyone arriving at different times or not knowing their roles. Creating a detailed schedule, sharing it with everyone involved, and labeling boxes clearly can streamline the process. Apps for shared checklists can help keep everyone on the same page and minimize confusion.
Let's dive into packing, often underestimated in terms of the time and effort it takes. What are your top strategies for packing up a household efficiently, especially when it comes to decluttering?
Start early and tackle one room at a time. Use the keep, donate, toss method. Research shows people move up to 30% less stuff by decluttering first, which saves on moving costs. Label each box with its contents and destination room, like kitchen, fragile, to minimize confusion later.
Great advice. I've heard that people often underestimate how much packing material they'll need. Could you elaborate on best practices for protecting fragile items?
Absolutely. Investing in extra bubble wrap, packing tape, and sturdy boxes is worthwhile. For fragile items, wrap each piece individually, fill empty spaces with paper or towels, and mark boxes as fragile. Think of your boxes like nesting dolls. Each layer adds protection. Movers often say, "You can never have too much padding."
That's a helpful analogy. What about sentimental items? How do you decide what stays and what goes?
Sentimental value complicates things. Ask yourself if the item genuinely brings joy or if a photo could suffice. If you're torn, set aside a maybe box to revisit later. Research in behavioral economics suggests we overvalue items simply because they're ours, so try to be objective.
Once everything's moved in, the real work often begins unpacking and settling into the new space. Many describe this as solving a three-dimensional puzzle. What are some strategies for making this transition smoother?
Begin by unpacking essentials first. Think bedding, toiletries, and kitchen basics. Tackle one room at a time to avoid feeling overwhelmed. Use your labeled boxes as a roadmap. If a piece of furniture doesn't fit as expected, don't hesitate to experiment with different configurations until it feels right.
That makes sense. Beyond logistics, How can someone turn a new, empty apartment into a home that truly feels inviting?
Personal touches are key. Hang favorite pictures, arrange books, and add plants for warmth. Host a housewarming party, even a simple pizza night on the floor, to create new memories. Psychologists say that familiar routines and shared experiences help speed up the adjustment period.
It's interesting how much environment impacts our mood. In your opinion, what's the most underrated aspect of settling in?
Patience with yourself is underrated. People often expect to feel at home immediately, but it can take weeks to adjust. Embrace the process as an adventure and a fresh start, a chance to redefine your space and habits. Ultimately, home is shaped more by experiences than by decor.